Today we're talking to Beejel Parmar, who really just goes by Beejel. He's always in yellow, and he is a virtual assistant expert. We're also talking to Mark Wagner, who we are doing a course called Airbnb 10K together. But today I really wanted to dig into virtual assistants. Beejel is a virtual assistant expert. He's hired, over 500 virtual assistants.
Yep.
And he really has helped a lot of virtual assistants get paid more money. And Mark is kind of a virtual assistant himself. He works a few different jobs as a freelance coder. He also is hiring virtual assistants as video editors, etc. So let's jump into it. Stick around. This is going to be very exciting, especially if you're overseas. Let's talk about how to get paid more.
This video is brought to you by LinkedIn X, our course for how to grow on LinkedIn. More about LinkedIn X in a second, but first, enjoy the video.
Before we jump into it, make sure that you hit that like button. It really helps the channel for the YouTube algorithm. Do you hit it? You hit it. Also, make sure you're subscribed down below. And if you want to leave a comment, that'd be sick. All right, let's jump into it. Beejel, I wanted to start with you. So can you go into a little bit of your background? Because you said, or a little bit of this story specifically, because you were talking about one specific virtual assistant, you don't even call them virtual assistants, who was able to go from what? What was that jump? The one that's working for...
Yeah, so we met in India, I think about 2012, 2013, the $5, $10 per hour website designer. Now he's earning anywhere about $6,000 to $10,000 per month and doing very similar work, but the value proposition changed. And that's kind of what we want to go a little bit deeper into today in terms of how do virtual assistants go from thinking of themselves as low cost, service providers to being experts in their field and thus being able to earn more income.
So for instance, I saw this stat the other day, and it was the average American on disability and the average doctor in India make actually the exact same amount of money. They both make about $1,200 a month. Like at least in Nigeria, people are making $1 a day. In India, people are making $1 an hour, $2 an hour. For instance, okay, Ankit on our team, he's $400. I could tell you what I think he needs to do. But what do you think he needs to do to command that $4,000 a month salary instead of the $400 a month salary?
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
There are copywriters in the US today that will charge anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 for a page of copy. But what is it they're doing differently to somebody who maybe just about squeezes out $20 for copywriting? What it comes down to, to a value proposition.
Okay.
Right? It comes down to finding the right type of client that's willing to pay a little bit more than what they're paying, what they're getting hired for, maybe on the platforms they're on currently, right? So it means realizing their own self-worth to build their net worth. And here's the other thing. Most virtual assistants attempt to be good at dozens of different things. Now we know that most super achievers are good from anywhere from 1 to 6 things maximum, right? And they go from being okay to good to great to world class. So instead of thinking, hey, I'm a $1, $50, $2, $3, $5 per hour person, it's, hey, I can write copy for you. My rate's going to be a few $100s.
Niche it down, ask for more.
Yeah.
What about demonstrating value from what they've done before? So if they've written ads for someone and that has performed,
exactly.
then they can...
Find the right kind of clients you want to work with long term. Find one or two and say, hey, let me write copy for you. Let me write a series of emails. If you like my work, will you be willing to share me as a resource to your network?
What was that niche? And then what was the pricing and how were they able to increase the pricing?
Website design.
Okay.
Is in website design. But he also mastered his skill. Like he was really good at what he did. And he didn't try and go broad. He didn't try and do websites and then, running ad copy and then, copyright, whatever. No, what he was good at was creating really stunning websites. And then he got referred to another fairly well-known marketer. That marketer used him, I believe now for 3-4 years. And that marketer was super happy with his work, referred him to another big marketer. When you can provide and demonstrate value, the dollar per hour marker starts to change.
He's making almost the same that a doctor would make in an entire year in India if it's $1,200 a month. How do my assistants get paid $4,000 a month, $8,000 a month? How do they get on that track? And or you think they should probably quit, right? Is that the move?
First, find your discipline, right?
Okay.
A great book is Good to Great by Jim Collins.
Love
right?
that one. Yeah.
You don't have to, again, read the whole book. just get the essence of the hedgehog principle, right? A better version of that is
Good to Great. I might actually read the whole book.
Yeah.
That book's actually really good.
Yeah, and another version of this model is Ikigai, the Japanese, where it's what you're good at, it's what you love doing, it's what the world needs, and what you get paid for. So it's a four circle Venn diagram, right? At the center point of that is basically where you start.
So we're doing this with Div, right? The one that has the salary increase is a YouTube producer.
Yeah.
He runs the YouTube channel. He gives notes on the videos to make sure that they're perfect. He does the titles, the descriptions. Like, he's a YouTube producer.
Right, so my
and so he
question
gets
to
YouTube
him-
producer salary versus assistant
So
salary.
if he was my coaching client, I'd say to him, okay, now he works for you, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So
I'll sacrifice him.
I
He should be getting more.
What I
Yeah.
would tell him to be asking you is, what value do I need to provide to you, or at what level do I have to help you get your business to for you to be able to afford to pay me X? Right now, it's you're determining his value, but now I would be telling him to be asking you as the business owner, and then what would he have to do in his role to justify that increase?
It makes a lot of sense. And I wish everyone else on the team would do that as well. Because Div has done that, right? The reason why he gets paid so much is because he's driven our course sales up. And on top of that, now we actually have a bonus system. So we know, like, if we hit this certain revenue goal 3 months in a row, and we've hit it this first month, and if we hit it the next 2 months, he gets a nice cash bonus. Good cash bonus, you know?
He's getting a cash bonus as soon as he sees this footage.
Let me share what happens.
Okay.
So let's say you hire me.
Yeah.
And what doesn't typically happen is I pour my heart and soul into your business, right? And we don't have this conversation about value, right? And at some point in time, I'll go from being grateful you gave me the opportunity to starting to resent the fact that I'm doing all this work for you, you're making the money, and now I start to look either elsewhere, or I start to, show up ill-minded for your business. But most people will not leave that situation. They'll just continue, and they'll start griping and talking to other team members and poisoning your business. Versus realizing that, hey, I'm producing a lot of value for you, and having an open communication with you. Say, hey, what do I need to do to actually justify a higher salary per month? You're so busy running your enterprise, right? Because you run multiple businesses. Some in the role of CEO, some in the business, some as chairman of the business, right? That not that you don't want to have these conversations, but if in the culture of your business you say, look, this is a value-based working culture, right? That if you have an idea, a way to increase your value, step up to the plate, demonstrate value, and let's talk.
I love that, because it is what you're saying about value. And I think the thing that virtual assistants have over, let's say, an American worker, where let's say the American worker is being paid $6,000 a month versus a virtual assistant, if they're only $400 a month or $250 a month even, it's so low risk to let them do some nonsense.
Let's almost stop using this word virtual assistant, right? In some ways, you're a virtual assistant to your clients. What if we just remove these two words and just think of it as virtual team members?
That's what we need.
For this concept, right?
Because I was thinking about this a lot. To the point, I think I was trolling Entrepreneur or Forbes or one of these guys because they talked about virtual assistant. I was like, virtual assistant terms, it's kind of racist.
As long as I can justify, a certain payment to a team member, that's what we're going to go for.
What we have on our team, I've got a lot of creatives, right? We got video producers, designers, virtual assistants, but your realm, people on your team literally are other engineers and like high value labor. So what are your insights there? Like, what have you seen?
I pay my VAs $90 an hour, but I guess it's kind of a different kind of boat.
But they're also overseas VAs.
Actually, these are in the U.S.
Okay,
but everyone's really a VA now. I mean, since March 2020, we're all VAs, right? In that case, it is about a value, right? I sub out a few days of the week, I'll have something done, and then I'll turn that over for a client for significantly more. But I do want to say that in terms of like for what I'm hiring for a course, the Airbnb 10K, I see sometimes when I want a job done right and I know I'm already getting a bargain prices, I actually sort and filter for highest price first. I don't want a $15 video course editing. I want the $500 one because I know I'm going to be spending at least $1,500 on editing. So I know I'm probably filtering out nonsense by paying more.
We did that for every burger for our burger show. It was $30 an episode. But then when it came time to do the reel, which we had to have for sponsorships, I think I paid $350 for a 1 minute video, and then $40 a video or $30 a video for the 15-minute videos. So it definitely, like if you really need the project done, you're definitely paying more. And if it's very specific, like the Reel editor is a different editor than the YouTube editor. So if you're a YouTube editor, Daniel, if you're watching this, you're editing our YouTube videos, maybe start editing Reels, start editing very specific things that'll command more money.
Really lose my entire team.
No, you'll upskill your
Yeah.
entire team.
Yeah.
You'll turn them from worker bees to thinker bees.
That's
right?
what we need, yeah.
And you'll get them to start adding more value. And think about it, if they're all adding more value to your business, by default it means that your business is adding more value to your clients, right? And thus the whole ecostructure will increase in value.
Are there specific skills to avoid? So for instance, video editors, I have a hard time paying more than like 20, 30 bucks.
I believe the value isn't in the skill itself. It's what they can do with that skill. So it's the value add.
Yeah.
Right? It's the thinkability, right? It's how much have you invested in your art? They say, look, you can hire editors for $5, $20, $30, $40, but there are editors who charge thousands, right? Why? Because they've mastered a craft. If you can demonstrate the value of your craft, then you can stop being trapped into the per hour concept, right? So look, is it about the editing or is it about the end result?
Where can people check you out online? Where should they go to find you?
They go to two places because to me, outsourcing is under the umbrella of productivity. So I like to start with the concept of productivity first and then use delegation as a subcomponent of that, right? Most people think about, I need to outsource all this work, but you can outsource a lot of busy work and without producing the right result. So we're going to start with the concept of productivity, which is basically producing the right result in your business first. And for that, we incorporate proper planning methods, planning the processes that drive results before you spend money on a bunch of projects that will end up being a liability to you. And so for outsourcing specific, then go to theprocesshive.com. And if you want help in terms of just learning how to be more productive, go to the beelineprogram.com.
Awesome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to smash that like button to encourage this type of content on YouTube. Subscribe for more videos down below and check out all of our past content. We do videos 3 times a week all about sales, entrepreneurship, and great interviews.
Let's talk about LinkedIn X. You know us, you know me as the cold email guy. What you don't know is we also do LinkedIn outreach. In fact, Robert, who's our co-founder at X27, just generated $300,000 on LinkedIn in the last 60 days and consistently generates leads and clients on LinkedIn for us at X27, along with all of our other clients using LinkedIn. If you want to find out how to do that, you want to go through and see the exact back and forths that we go through to book meetings. You want to see how to set up your profile correctly, who to follow on LinkedIn, what kind of posts to write. If you want all of that data boiled down into an easy to follow course, head on over to linkedinx.com and join that course today. I'll see you inside. Let's grow your LinkedIn. linkedinx.com.
Like this. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below. What did you learn from Beejel and Mark? Would love to get a conversation going. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.